White ribbons float hypnotically on a gentle breeze. Each sheet is so supple, so fragile, and yet so dependable. He tries to reach out, to wind some lengths of the precious tissue around his hand like he once did. Like he did before the world went mad. Smash! Lenny woke with a start and was showered with shards of glass. He jumped to his feet, bareback sticking to the leather couch, and stumbled to his shattered window. Piss off, you looting bastards! The group of teenagers fled in different directions, amidst blaring car horns and angry mobs, disappearing into the chaos of the streets. Lenny, hands trembling, picked up the brick missile and in the broken glass glimpsed his dishevelled reflection. Bedraggled black locks hung unkempt like the weeds that grew through the city's median strips. His pale blue eyes were red-rimmed and swollen from lack of sleep after a long night shift driving the garbage truck. A frenzied knock bashed against Lenny's front door, and he clunked back the bolts to reveal his best mate, Frank. "The city's gone mad!" Frank shrieked through a COVID mask that sat crooked on a scruffy brown beard. He yanked Lenny closer to his big frame and eyeballed him with frantic green eyes. "You're telling me," Lenny stuttered, nodding at his demolished window. "We gotta get out of here, mate. You know what I'm getting at. We need to head west." For a long while the two had dreamt of leaving the volatile city, a place where neighbours turned on neighbours, businesses crumbled and unemployment rates had skyrocketed. Frank's Aunt Margie lived on the west coast and according to Frank was willing to house them. "Come on, Lenny, look at this shitbox you live in," he said, snorting in disdain as he ran his gaze over the tiny space. "It's less hygienic than a COVID testing clinic. You've got nothing to stay for except a dead-end job." "That's more than most," Lenny retorted nervously. "At least I'm not sleeping under the overpass, eating rats with the masses." Seeing the hesitation on his friend's face, Frank added, "Aunt Marg reckons she has toilet paper stockpiled." They packed Lenny's sun-worn Ford Falcon, nicknamed Carol after the librarian from whom he bought it, and sped towards the market. She screeched past riot squads and flaming car wrecks like her namesake between bookshelves. The market swarmed with desperate bodies, and a large mob waited in the loading bay to raid the produce trucks. Lenny pushed to the front and was amongst the first to bolt inside a T-Logistics semi once the trembling driver unlatched the door and dove for cover. He managed to get his hands to a few bundles of toilet paper before being tackled to the ground. The writhing weight on his back threatened to crush him until the butt of a walking stick descended to pull him from the tangle of limbs. With a wicked grin, the old lady on the other end rapped him sharply on the forehead, snatched the rolls, and shuffled away. "Hee hee," she cackled under a COVID mask. "Bad luck, loser." Frank had not fared much better, and together they had amassed some measly food stocks. The fruit and vegetables sported bruises to match the lump on Lenny's forehead. "This won't last a day," Lenny groaned as he sanitized his arms. "Think skinny," Frank winked. "Aunt Marg will stuff you full of her famous wild peach pie, and then you'll be groaning." Barren plains, hollow-bust salt basins grew into rocky outcrops and ranges of stony hills teeming with wind turbines and zigzagging fences. Eventually, the broken pastoral land gave way to an endless sea of saltbush and mallee scrub. Too dry for most inhabitants bar kangaroos and reptiles. Lenny, enchanted by the emptiness, glued his eyes to the window. Carol clunked and shuddered as the bitumen deteriorated, then turned to dirt. They passed through a small, neat town of timber and stone where a family played cricket on the street. The parents smiled and their daughter waved as she chased them, laughing as she ran. The chimneys were in their rearview mirror when a strip of saluting cacti marked the end of their journey. The prickly guardians lined a corrugated driveway and pointed to a mud brick shack atop a shrubby hill. A plump figure clad in thick leather leant against a cactus, impervious to the spikes. "Boys," she gushed, removing her straw hat to reveal a slick mane of grey hair. "You finally made it." "I'm Marg, mate. Bring it in," she exclaimed, knocking back Lenny's handshake and pulling him into a warm hug. "And take those silly COVID masks off. No need for social distancing out here." Inside, Margie offered them beer and a house tour. Floral artesian rugs radiated warmth from a corner fireplace, which, combined with the sweet smoke of lemon-flavoured incense, made Lenny drowsy. He shuffled sleepily behind Marg as she explained her abstract driftwood sculptures that hung haphazardly from the hall. Then, Through a doorway of thick timber sleepers, a flicker of light halted him mid-stride. Could it be? The tissue was 3-ply and patterned with leaves the colour of autumn. Fine workmanship indeed, he thought as he rubbed it against his cheek and felt the supple grains move smoothly over his skin. It smelled of sanitation, freshness, and was that oak? Or perhaps maple? Lenny? Came Frank's concerned query. More like Tutankhamun, Margie giggled as she eyed the sheets draped over Lenny's shoulders and head. It's okay, son, she cooed, immediately regretting her taunt. You and your bum are safe here. Past her motherly smile and through an iridescent window mirror he saw nothing but the empty desert and its sentinels, towering cacti. Lenny relaxed his grasp on the sacred cloth. He believed her.